And with wetsuit, yes. If you wear, do you wear an extra large wetsuit? What size wetsuit do you wear?
Medium.
Do you wear a medium?
Yeah.
I wear a medium, and I'm taller than you.
Yeah, but
Do you cut yours?
stronger than you.
Do you trim your wetsuit?
I wasn't ready.
Well, doesn't matter.
Band.
Max Doman says, "What's the latest rage?" Well, stick around. You're gonna find out. We have literally.
We record the Monday Mass on GarageBand. That's how not good at this we are. Yo.
Check.
Huh?
Are we going?
Yo.
Are we going yet?
Yo.
Did I watch the Shaun White documentary?
No.
I did.
Did
I
you?
did. Yeah, I did.
How was that?
It's really good, actually. It doesn't matter if whatever your opinion is about Shaun, the documentary is fantastic. It's 6 episodes.
Really?
Or 5 episodes. It's a lot of episodes.
That's episodic, bro.
Here, keep people entertained while I figure this shit out.
Hey guys, I'm trying to figure out how to work my computer too. It's always fun. Yeah, you'd think we would be ready, huh?
Beach down in the Bombhole. Yep, that is some news.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that.
Okay.
Can we talk about the Bombhole for a second? We can talk. We're going to talk about the Bombhole on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's a very sensitive subject.
Is it?
And
Can you guys hear us on YouTube
there's
live?
nobody watching us on YouTube. They're all here.
Well, we'll see if this works. If it doesn't work, then at least you saw it on Todd's phone. This is the Monday Mass. Chris Cote and Todd Richards. I'm Chris. That's Todd. It's July 10th, 2023. This is the world's greatest action sports podcast, and you know that.
Today we're
just by the sound of our voices.
We're going to teach you how to play fart tennis.
Oh.
Do you know how to play fart tennis, Chris?
I saw it on your Twitter, Todd.
Okay, let me tell you about fart tennis. I've been playing this game for a long time, and I've been dominating. A lot of people don't know that I'm playing fart tennis with them, but I am. So the rules to fart tennis are as follows. Let's say I fart, right? So I fart. Chris has 60 seconds to return a fart, therefore throwing a fart over the net. If I fart twice in 60 seconds, or Chris farts twice.
How old are you?
Shut up, Chris.
I'm just curious.
I'm way too old to be playing fart tennis. But if Chris farts twice,
you are so immature.
He gets a point. And the whole point of this is to rally back and forth over the net. Now, if Chris shits his pants,
I'm gonna edit this out.
It's an automatic win.
For who?
For you. You win.
So I win if
you shit your pants.
Okay.
It's a consolation prize, really.
If you've never listened to this podcast, this is your first time. We don't usually start with fart tennis tutorials, but you know, sometimes Todd comes in with his own ideas of how to do some stuff, and in that case,
that is why we have great sponsors like Machu Picchu, a 0 sugar energy drink, yerba mate. Gets you jacked up to play fart tennis.
It jacks you up. It jacks you up. Oleu Originals. Oleu Originals. If you want to see Oleu Originals in action.
What is it?
I mean, just Oleu. It's just Oleu, but it's at Oleu_originals on Instagram. Oleu is a new sponsor we have. I put up a review on my personal Instagram on the board shirt. Remember, I was telling you about this.
Oh, someone just made a point. You know what? Like a deuce in tennis. It's a literal deuce.
I'd love to move past fart tennis.
It's impossible. Fart tennis is
it's taking over the world,
sweeping the nation.
Oleu, the board shirt. That's what I wore. SPF 50 rash guard, and it's you don't look like a sausage, because if you've seen Todd in his long arm rash guard. It ain't pretty, and he's got a good body too, so he should be in a Oleu board shirt. Hanson Surfboards, that's where you can get Oleu board shirts and also many other items. Do you know that?
Mm-hmm.
This is business.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want to keep talking about farts and tennis, but we got business to take care of.
Farts will never stop. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm older than many people, but farts.
Not that many
The
people.
day that farts are not funny anymore is the day that I question your sanity.
That's the day the music dies.
Anything
And
el-
if you don't
any-
toot, you
any other
don't
sponsors?
pollute.
Go ahead.
Sponsors love Fart Talk mid-sponsor block. Rationale at Rationale Brewing on Instagram. This is the world's best craft non-alcoholic beer for people like myself who can't contain themselves, and once they have one alcohol beer, will end up having 20.
You know,
will wake up in
one
a
of the
ditch.
best parts about fart tennis is when
Oh
you
my
can you
God.
come up with like funny names for yourself, like Andre Agassi or John Spacklerow.
I'll let you know when that gets funny.
It's pretty funny.
I guess I'm laughing at it, so it must be funny. Beneath Apparel, at Beneath Apparel, world's best underwear. Look, I mean, do I have to do it every time at this point?
Fart Connors.
We got them every time.
Fart Connors.
The uniform for Todd's new sport, right? The designated uniform?
You know who Bart Connors is?
No.
He's a tennis player.
Nope. I just had one, but I can't say it. Pedal Electric at pedal.electric, world's best e-bikes. What's up with it? Bubs Naturals at Bubs Naturals, and we've got a perfect summer pairing for you. I'm talking about the Hydrate or Die product that you don't have to sit there and drink. You know, I don't know why this bothers me when I have multiple friends that carry around big water jugs. Do you have friends that carry around water jugs?
It's like
I love
like
that
an
for them.
emotional support water jug.
I love that they are hydrating, but I get kind of jealous because I just don't have the capacity to hydrate. So
I don't
thankfully,
trust
I have
people with
Bubs
really hydrated
Naturals.
skin.
You don't?
No.
You have hydrated skin.
Do I?
Yeah.
Feel a little flaky right now.
Bubs Naturals at Bubs Naturals, collagen, MCT brain oil, hydration, and more. Bachan's Japanese barbecue sauce. Todd, you dropped off a new flavor. I haven't tried it yet. What is it?
It's the new miso glaze. Miso.
What?
Yes. It's great.
This isn't going to be a great podcast. I can already tell.
Why?
I don't know.
I didn't take
No, not
melatonin
from you.
today.
I think we're both a little bit tired. Panic and coffee and tea would have helped me, Todd, but you said the line was too long. Was it popping over there?
Let me help you.
All right, thank you. I'll have this one. Tastes great too.
Mm-hmm.
At New Greens, what does New Greens do for you personally, Todd?
New
You
Greens.
personally.
New
get
Greens
details.
helps you die later. No guarantees, but it definitely has all the vitamins and minerals and I don't know, whatever the fuck is in a salad that makes you feel great and improves your
That's actually what
longevity.
it says on the back of the New Greens packaging. Whatever the fuck is in a salad is in here.
Look, if you can have a company called Liquid Death, then you can have New Greens in the back of the package says there's friggin' whatever.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
diecutstickers.com at diecutstickers, DOTCOM, diecutstickers.com.
Hey, Chip Nissel, if you don't like our sponsor plugs, you can always find a better
Oh my
a
God.
better podcast.
Every
to watch.
podcast has a sponsor block. Every podcast that's worth its weight in content.
That's right. If
Are
you don't-
people logging off?
Yeah.
This is free. You didn't pay for this. It's free. And the reason it's free is because we have sponsors. We get most of the free stuff from the sponsors. Sometimes we give it to you guys. But let's get a quick catch up, you and I, personal
Okay, go
catch
ahead.
up before we get into like news.
All right.
You want to hear about my weekend?
Do I have a choice? Okay. What did you do this weekend?
Well, I went out to the Adrenaline Games in Las Vegas because our friends Tempest Freerunning had a Kings of the Concrete qualifier. My son Roman was in the qualifier. He did well going up against some of the world's best freerunners. Unfortunately, after the qualifying session, he was training, practicing, rolled his ankle. So I drove out there and I literally picked him up, put him on my back, wrapped up his ankle, and I walked around with him like Yoda on Luke Skywalker's back the whole weekend in Las Vegas. And while it was physically demanding, emotionally it was very satisfying. You know, you like actually help your kid. It feels really good.
I don't know. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, it was a great event. Tricking martial arts. Guy named Say qualified for KOTC.
More importantly,
2023.
did you see the new stadium in Vegas?
I did, yeah. Allegiant Stadium.
I feel like if they're dropping the ball by that not being a Death Star by like this Thursday,
What
I'm
do you
giving
mean,
them a
like-
date.
Like, oh no, there's actually a new Death Star there.
What?
So in Las Vegas, there's a new dome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
The
The-
Allegiant Stadium
I'm
is where
talking
the
about
Raiders
I'm
play.
talking about the one that looks like an eyeball.
Okay, well, the Raiders play in a stadium that's all black, and it looks kind of like a Death Star. That's also where the hockey team plays and all that. But the dome you're talking about, the LED, it's the world's largest
Right.
LED dome.
Yeah.
You're saying you want them to put the graphics of the Death Star on it.
Yes.
For May the 4th.
Dude, like, how about just for like a
Just Death Star
Tuesday
Day?
afternoon? Someone wants to know here. Incredible Meisman wants to know: is free running the same as free riding, where you can just run wherever you want?
Yeah. It's parkour. It's free running. It means it's like running, but you're free to jump around.
Is parkour? Is it like rollerblading? Like it's called inline, but they call it. You know what I mean? Like, is it free running? Is like parkour like owned by somebody?
No,
So is free running and parkour interchangeable within that
I
universe?
think so. Yeah, yeah. They don't get too weird about it. Now, tricking is a totally different thing. It's like parkour, but it's
Especially in
also
Vegas,
like
because
martial
I have
arts.
seen some women tricking by
And
a
men.
7-Eleven
And
there,
men.
and well, depending on what
It's-
side of town
it's
you go
2023.
to. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually a good question. Parkour and free running, they're right in the same world.
Extreme walking is if you have to take a poop
Oh my God, you are
and you need to.
you are really living in your own asshole today. You are.
All
You're
right,
living in your own butt.
we're gonna. I hate. Okay,
I know every time
every
we gotta do
every
this.
frickin' episode, it seems like we've had like before we get into the meat and potatoes about this episode. There's two people that we have to shout out and basically memorialize on.
I
here,
know, and
it
we hate
sucks.
that we have to do this every damn podcast, but it's too important not to. The first one, I'll just start.
Mhm.
McCullough Jones. Okay, so McCullough Jones, first and foremost, an amazing human, a father, a husband, just an incredible family man. He was one of the first people in the North Shore to really like welcome myself and my brother personally into his house. We stayed there for many years when we were doing Transworld. He was just so gracious and so cool, and he reinvented how we see surfing. He was the first guy to really nail the POV shots in the barrel, the craziest angle. I mean, the dude was a genius. Incredibly soulful, stylish surfer, one of the best, most tubed humans on this planet. Unfortunately, he passed away just a few days ago. It was a surfing accident. Something happened, pulling into he loved to surf big, gnarly barrels. He was surfing a big, gnarly barrel somewhere in Indonesia in the Mentawais, fell, something happened, got cut by his fin. We don't know exactly, but passed away doing what he loved. And I mean,
It does
do you
get. There
think-
is consolation.
is there a silver
Yeah,
lining there?
absolutely. I think that like his last memories were getting barreled out of his brains,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's a happy spot.
Yeah.
And on the snowboard side of things, filmmaker Pierre Minhondo passed away this weekend. I don't have any details about that, and it is a shame. He was the Neo Proto crew that kind of came up in the mid 2000s. Just kind of changed the game as far as what a snowboard video is and the tricks that people like to see, from the street crews to the backcountry. So another seminal filmmaker from snowboarding passed away, and it freaking sucks, man.
Well-
It's like I'm like, I don't. Are we just at that age at this point where like
I-
people
Are more
fucking drop
people
like
passing
flies?
away, or do we just know more people as we get older? I don't know, but another thing that is, I guess, a positive you can take away from this: Hondo, the filmmaker, McCullough Jones. Last week we were talking about Rick Froberg, and I did see Rick Froberg get a little eulogy on CBS Sunday Morning, which was pretty amazing.
No way.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
popped up, and that was awesome to see. But what they left for us, the art, the legacy, we can continue to enjoy for as long as we're around. So we should all do that. I mean, go look at some of the photos and videos that McCullough Jones provided for us. Watch Hondo's videos. Listen to the Hot Snakes. Listen to Drive Like Jehu. We got to celebrate these people. And I want to switch gears a little bit.
All right.
We're thinking of them with love always. But so the other day, yesterday, the waves were tiny, as you know. It was like knee to waist high, gutless, weak. But I was on a mission. I said, I'm going to wax up my best groveler. I am going my Paizel Gremlin quad in the Dark Arts Tech. I'm going to put on a short arm full. Usually I would trunk it and surf for like 20 minutes, get cold, and come in. Yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm going to rip. So I went out there with the full intent to try as hard as I could on every single wave, and I had a blast.
Where? Just you
straight
at
out
your
here.
local?
It was the
Wow.
worst waves ever, but it was the only way that I could motivate myself to get excited, to have some fun. I went out there, and we had the whole neighborhood out there, and we were basically just going like, all right, this is a heat. Let's go. It's on.
So you were that guy in the water who's like having a heat, and everyone else just wants to enjoy themselves.
We were all in on it.
Oh, okay.
I won because I was trying the hardest. So sometimes the surfer in the water that's trying the hardest is the one that wins.
Really? Is that how it is?
Well, it's funny too because when I'm watching surfing,
That's the best surfer in the water is the one that's trying their hardest.
Trying their hardest. Who's being the most annoying. When I'm watching surfing, when people are trying really hard, there's a fine line, right? Sometimes I see Italo, right? And he's trying so hard. He's like, bro, just chill, like 10%, and it'll be perfect. If you overdo it and try too hard, you kind of look like Spaz.
So were you like back paddling people and stuff?
No, I wasn't back paddling people. I was just like, let's say I was just giving maximum effort on every wave that I surfed, and I was trying to do like turns and just really try.
Like a lot of kicking when you were paddling.
I don't think I was being annoying in that way. We were all taking turns, but I'm just saying like, I made a concerted effort to get up and ride these waves as best I could, and I had so much fun. Do you ever try that? Do you ever just go like maximum effort at skating, surfing, snowboarding?
Like
I think you probably did that at Peace Park, right? Like I'm gonna go and try.
yeah,
my
there's.
hardest.
I feel like sometimes, and this is. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But like you can force it and force it to happen.
Yeah.
But then there's other times where the harder you try, the worse
worse
the
it
worse
is,
the
yeah.
outcome is. And 95% of the time, that's what I experience. Is the harder I try, like say I was like snowboarding or surfing, I'm like I'm going to go and
I'm gonna rip.
I'm gonna try to rip. It just is bad.
Yeah. But sometimes it works. And I
Sometimes
had a really
I guess
great
sometimes
session.
it works.
You know what they the kids these days? You know what they call people who try too hard?
Tryhards?
Sweats.
Why?
Don't be a sweat.
Really?
Yeah.
They
Because
call
you're
'em
like
sweats?
sweaty.
Oh.
You're like sweaty from trying too hard.
That's funny because usually just sweaty people were like those dudes at the bar who showed up at
Maybe they're trying too hard.
Yeah, they're just trying too hard.
Speaking of trying too hard, Jonah Hill was trying a little hard to control his ex-girlfriend, and she went ahead and doxed his ass and leaked DMs and text messages, and now there's a big hubbub. And the funny thing about it is Jonah Hill's like introductory complaints to her we're talking about surf culture, so somehow he's like weaponized surf culture to get his girlfriend to stay in line. And
I mean,
there's two sides to this, of course.
I just don't know if like I don't know if like airing that kind of shit on like Instagram is that like like why?
Well, that's the thing.
But why?
But I'm saying because in her opinion, and I'm not on either side of this. Like I'm out.
Yeah, regardless, I'm not taking a side in this at
Yeah.
all. I'm just like,
In her opinion, she was releasing these messages to basically show and tell other women, like, if your boyfriend is saying this to you, treating you like this, and trying to control you, get out. And Jonah Hill was basically, and I'm paraphrasing because I didn't go too deep into this, was basically saying, look, here are my boundaries. Boundaries. It was a lot of like therapy speak, you know? Like my therapist said. So either way, these are private conversations. And the funny thing is, the surf culture thing to me was really funny. Like, I don't want you surfing with guys. I don't want you posting photos of yourself in a bathing suit. So
a lot
to
of
me,
these,
that's the controlling part. I
yeah.
don't care when you post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, Todd.
I was just
I
gonna
still
say,
wanna
like a
have a
lot of the
relationship with you.
complaints Jonah Hill has, they mirror my thoughts about you.
Yeah, you don't want to see me surfing with other
Nope.
people.
Nope.
You don't want me to be friends with people from my past
Nope.
before I met you.
Right. I don't want you being on any other podcasts.
The only reason I brought this up is because it's big in surf news.
It's also big in Encinitas because this, like, his girlfriend was like,
Bro, is he like behind me right now?
he was in Encinitas, like, what was it 2 summers ago? I don't remember when he was.
You saw him on the road.
Yeah, multiple times.
Well, I don't think calling Jonah Hill a surfer is necessarily realistic.
Yeah, but like, see, that's a weird
You
thing about
identify
like,
as a surfer?
yeah, like what does that mean? Like, when you buy a surfboard, are you a surfer? At what point do you become a surfer? It's just like what point? Anything. Like, I guess technically it would, like, is it like when you figure out how to like catch a? I don't freaking
She's being
know.
framed as a pro surfer, which is also maybe not super realistic. She's an amazing surfer, but the whole thing just kind of reeks of bad gossip. Now Jonah Hill has a baby with someone else.
He
you know,
does?
yeah.
Really?
It was a bad breakup. Now everything's public.
You know what'll fix a bad breakup is a baby.
A makeout.
He for real has a baby?
Yeah. That's
Does-
why we haven't seen him in Encinitas.
Wow.
That's why he doesn't get to surf as much.
Guess
We've
not.
wasted way too much time talking about it.
People love
Everybody
this shit.
just get along, man.
Maybe Jonah Hill would like to run the WSL.
You've seen Jonah Hill's clips from. I don't like to pile on. You know what? I don't want to pile on anybody. If you're
Why?
having a good time surfing, go for it. It's just funny to me that when people like start surfing and they get really excited about it, and then they just start like claiming it so hard. Just surf, enjoy yourself, post a clip or two, but
I have the
just
same
save it. You're being a sweat.
complaint about
You're being a sweat.
fart tennis enthusiasts when they just start. You know, they're walking around town with their white shorts with a big brown stain in the back. Like, I know you play fart tennis. I know you won a bunch of matches. I can see that.
Who sponsors your tournaments?
So many
Gas
people.
X?
Yeah.
Shaun Manners just dropped a new video for Globe. It goes hard. This dude is so good. Airs, barrels, everything. This is real surfing. There's no drama here. It's real surfing. The only drama you're going to get is the dramatic effect that we see Shaun Manners doing when he's in these crazy waves. So take a break from the gossip, okay? Leave Beach Grit. Go to Stab and watch the Shaun Manners edit.
Oh my God! Can you
Get
imagine
pumped.
when this news broke? Can you imagine
Oh my
the
God.
smile on people at Beach Grit's face?
Oh, they're just
Loving it.
visible boners.
Just sweating,
There's
sweats.
like 12 articles on this.
Right.
It's their dream come true.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Oh my God!
We're
Terry
just trying to get-
Kidwell just joined.
What?
Holy shit!
Well, let's talk about some serious stuff.
I gotta-
He's like a real guy.
I gotta
We
fucking pull my shit together here.
Yeah. So welcome, Terry Kidwell, to the Monday M.A.S.S, the world's greatest action sports podcast. We're just getting started. We haven't been talking about farts, gossip, nothing.
Good
We're
Lord.
talking about Aaron Brooks, who was representing Team Canada, recently got reprimanded, basically saying she's not Canadian. Something about her paperwork. And look, there's a long article around here. And Erin's father, Jeff, is a dual citizen of USA and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what's going on, but I hope it gets cleared up because Erin Brooks is amazing and we need her in the Olympics. We need her in Canadian surf competition. She's the best. So we're thinking that this is all going to be cleaned up. Okay? And Erin Brooks will be flying the Canadian flag and ripping in events very soon. Speaking of events, the Corona Open JBay could potentially start July 13th.
Now, yesterday, WSL posted 2 waves from that competition. One of them, well, actually, it was Jordy Smith's Perfect Heat versus Felipe Toledo's 10 that had 2 of the same alley-oops.
I see. You might be on the same page with me.
Okay, go ahead.
Everyone's talking about that Felipe Toledo wave. I love Felipe Toledo. I love how he surfs.
I don't think it's that good.
I don't think that wave was great.
Mm-mm.
I thought it was bad style. I don't love alley-oops in the first place. And when you do 2... The second one was great. He landed. It was critical. But
why don't you like alley-oops in surfing? Like, why don't you like a backside alley-oop?
I like an alley-oop when it's done off the lip, fully rotated, lands in transition, and bottom turned out.
That's kind of what he did, though.
Yeah,
but like, what is it? I've heard this before.
I
like,
love alley-oops in surfing.
But good surfers like yourself and others, they clown on alley-oops. And why is that?
Because
they're too
not
easy?
as hard as other airs.
Okay.
And look, I'm not taking anything away from the brilliance of Felipe's Toledo Perfect 10 at JBay, but when I'm looking at that wave, and maybe this is where I go from progressive freak, addicted to progression and watching it, to a little bit more of a purist. I want to see this wave surfed with power and flow.
Yeah, I think...
You know,
if
a tube, a carve, Tom Curran style. It didn't make sense to me. It was a great wave. It was wildly progressive. But
I don't by any means think it was the best JBay wave ever. No. I've seen Mikey Feb just cruising.
And so, what about the Jordy Smith waves, guys?
I think Jordy's There's one where Jordy basically uses all of his frame and body weight to like push himself through,
to
carve through like not very friendly sections, and punch through the lip on like where obviously it's crumbling and wants to throw a normal human off their board, and then gets like a double barrel, and then does like a floater for like way too long. You know what I mean? Like that crazy floater that he does and like lands out in the flat. Like that was incredible.
Dude, Eitan Osborne is having a floater contest, which I love. And if we ever get waves, I want to try to enter this. And not that I'm a great floaterer. I've floated in the past, but I'm not a great floaterer. But I just want to enter the contest. If I can find a section to do an extended floater.
Federer is a really great tennis player. So
watching right now. We're gonna go back.
Floaterer would be a really good name for someone in fart tennis.
Sorry, Terry. Your friend Todd's just really on a fart rampage today. So the JBay contest could start July 13th.
Oh, hey,
I'm not there.
Gimbal God's on here, and this is a good time to talk about Judd Hankis's new snowboard / surf film.
What?
That Gimbal God filmed a whole bunch of footage for, obviously, because those guys are inseparable. But they went to Indo. Went to Indo last year, and some of the footage coming out of Judd Hankis from there, and Gimbal God floating around in big old lineups. It's gonna be incredible. Hey, Spenny, when does that come out? To put it in the chat, yo. Or you can, if you want to like live with us right now. People love that shit.
See, now everybody's getting in on the fart humor.
Yeah, because it's great.
That old muckler just said he left a floater in the lineup the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, our friends at Lurking Class have just teamed up with Dickies, the collaboration of the year. I just looked at the whole line of Lurking Class X Dickies gear. It looks awesome. I'm getting some today. So go follow at Lurking Class and check out their new collab. It's tight.
Sick.
Do you have any other surf news?
Nope.
You guys have any other surf news? Any other surf news?
Yeah, does anyone
All
have
right,
any
moving
surf
on.
news?
Skate news is brought to you by Beneath Apparel. Surf news was brought to you by Hanson Surfboards, by the way, in case Todd didn't mention it. He's not doing his job well because he's thinking about farts.
Did you happen to see the new clip of Yuto Hiragome doing the backside 360 to nose slide to, I think he like 270s out of a nose slide?
I did not.
The kid's on another
But I'm about to bring up a bunch of clips that you might not have seen.
planet. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, there's a skater named Akwasi. He's having a moment.
Oh, yeah.
And we're loving it.
This was great.
His first part was dropped for Sci-Fi Fantasy. Probably one of the sickest, most creative parts of the year. I mean, this is the dude that's wall riding on dumpsters and just doing the impossible.
But like
beautiful.
Yeah, like the shit that he's doing is crazy.
It's amazing. Akwasi, and I had never heard his name until just the other day. I might be a little out of touch in the deep street scene, but loved his Sci-Fi Fantasy part. And then a couple of days later, ASICS skateboarding. ASICS, you know the shoe. It's like,
I didn't even know that ASICS has a skateboarding program.
well, they do, and they're ripping. They've got Gino Iannucci, Brent Ashley.
What do they look like?
I'm going to tell you.
Are they cool?
Emile Laurent, Kieran Woolley, and more.
Oh,
Another
Kieran
great
Woolley.
video. It's a great edit. Awesome music. Just really cool looking. So ASICS, it's like...
Yeah, I
it's
know
like-
what the logo looks like.
Okay, so they look... It's that logo on the side. You know, simple to start. There's a couple kind of wild designs. When I was in high school,
Mm-hmm.
I was on the wrestling team. Todd. And all the wrestlers wore ASICS wrestling shoes. And so I have this thing kind of stuck in the back of my mind. When I see ASICS, I think of wrestling. I was too light to wrestle anybody. I never got a match.
Really?
I was too light. So I only wrestle like older people.
Wow.
What? Bigger people.
Did you?
Anyway.
Was your coach named Jim Jordan?
No. That guy can go to hell.
Next.
I hope he.
All right, keep
Okay.
going.
But they have them at Rose Street over there here in Encinitas, and you can find them online. They look pretty tight. What's that say? Olympic wrestling team or choir wrestling?
What? No, it says steel chair welding wrestling team.
What? Oh, like a.
Oh, steel chair wielding. Oh, dude, that would be sick. Like if you're
what?
high school, instead of having like your typical grappling wrestling, but they literally had a WWF wrestling team.
Oh, like acting wrestling.
What are you talking
You
about?
know WWF is fake. They made it up.
Blasphemy.
It's fake.
I think that'd be great. Wouldn't that be sick to be a varsity, get a varsity letter in chair throwing wrestling?
Yes. Yes. No, it was just regular high school wrestling in a singlet and the headgear. I wish I had that stuff.
That shit's boring.
The new Skate Mafia video dropped. It rips. Masaki Hongo, Brandon Turner, Alexis Ramirez, Stephen Lawyer, Tyler Surrey, Wes Kramer, Alex Williams with the ender. San Diego skateboarding represent right there. Well, global, of course, but Skate Mafia dropped another hammer. Congrats to Dan and the crew. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that contest last year? It was in Canada. The Bunt put it on, and Kern Caples did like a 20-foot wall ride and dunked the basketball.
Sure. Yep.
All right, the Bunt is at it again. They just dropped another fun edit from their event
Is it
last week.
kind of like the dime challenge?
It is a similar feel, different obstacles, a different kind of deal, but it's very similar. But this year there was a wedge
Ooh, over the
onto a
fountain.
like a football goal post thing. You know, where you kick the field goal through.
But what is
And
this?
then they have
This
barn.
is this the same comp where like they had the Artosari jumping the fountain thing? It was like a super high speed gap over water.
I don't know. The last one I saw was like last year was the basketball thing. This year was a football kind of theme. It's awesome. You can find it on the internet. I think the Bunt is a podcast for skateboarding. and I feel stupid saying that because I should know more about it.
Oh, this one's good. This is
Ooh.
good news.
Yeah. San Francisco police officers in riot helmets rushed into and blockaded intersections near Dolores Park to shut down the annual Dolores Hill Bomb. There was hundreds of skaters there, and it got ugly quick.
Meanwhile, people breaking into every car all over San Francisco and shitting in doorways.
They're smoking crack in Walmart.
What the fuck, dude?
They're naked and
How is it that-
peeing on the corner and throwing heroin needles at people.
How is it that you can like why is there all of a sudden a police presence for this?
This is a lawless
and like
city.
and what the fuck, dude?
So the Dolores Hill Bomb was about to start. Police came in riot gear, and basically it was like everything was just about to happen, right? And yes, somebody did get killed during this hill bomb, multiple injuries and some vandalism and all that stuff. But you know what? You guys made it worse. When you come running into a group of 100, and these are kids, 14 to 19, boys
Riot
and
gear.
girls, and they blocked off all the streets, corralled all the skaters, were beating them. There was 110 officers that took place in the operation. And there was a bunch of arrests, 113 arrests, 81 of them were juveniles. And one girl who was arrested, her and her friend, they were 13, they were sat down on the sidewalk, handcuffed tightly, and left out there. And it's not funny. They peed their pants because they were left there for so long. These asshole police. Like there's not enough for you to do in San Francisco, literally one of the crime centers of the country. You gotta bust skateboarders.
The fact that people are I've had a car that I was in broken into within 5 fucking minutes of being in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in the car. And like I've talked to friends that live kind of near the Mission, not like even in the Mission, that are like, yeah, I leave my car open with all my fucking windows down.
Look, when people go to bomb this hill and bomb hills in San Francisco, they know what they're doing. They know they could die. It's not your responsibility. Their decision was to bomb the hill.
Maybe, just maybe it was an over response.
Look, I know there was some graffiti happening. There was probably like some broken windows and stuff, but this was a peaceful skate event. The cops came and whipped up the hornet's nest and made it worse. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Good.
I feel like there's a lot better use, especially in, fucking Escape from San Francisco, which is the,
Yeah, that person,
Jivey Lem.
Jivey Lem, says you got to just leave your car unlocked and open in San Francisco, and then you won't break
it's
into
true. It's fucking crazy, dude. That place is a goddamn war zone.
You would think, right? Okay, so San Francisco in the history of skateboarding is one of the meccas. You have to go there at least once. You don't have to bomb the hills, but you got to roll around the city. You got to see it. If you like, that is real shit. That's real skateboarding.
I'll tell you what, though,
They should
like
be
when
inviting skateboarders to San Francisco.
back in the day when the EMB was like it was it, right?
Yeah.
Like the skaters kind of kept the EMB they kind of ran a pretty tight ship there. Like there wasn't like sketchy fucking people hanging out because dudes like Kelch and the rest of the crew were like they were like regulating.
Yeah. Yeah, so we got DC Jones in there talking about it as well. Yeah, there was a kid that died on a bike. The point is, people get injured at X Games. They get injured at all skate events. It's like you're going to get injured skateboarding sometimes. But the overreach and overreaction of the San Francisco police, and I'm not there, so they can't get me.
An underreach and underreaction.
An underreach, which nobody loves. In better skateboarding news, Red Bull just dropped a pretty rad series called the No Rewind Video Competition. They gave 4 teams VX1000s, but they disabled the rewind and the tape eject. So they just got a camera with a tape in it.
So that's
and
it.
that was it.
That's
You
actually
couldn't
that's
refilm
such a
parts.
sick idea.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So basically, it's kind of like we used to shoot on 16. Like it was like, okay,
Yeah, there's no rewind.
there's only a certain amount of film in this camera, boys.
That's why they call it no rewind.
I'm gonna land this one.
Yeah, there's no rewind.
That's
Todd.
all. I get that, Chris. Was there no rewind?
I don't think there was a rewind. Blind, Santa Cruz, Plan B, and Real Skateboards, each given 2 weeks to film.
Who do you
using
think?
A custom VX.
Who do you think's got it?
I would think of that crew. I'm going Real Skateboards. You should go Santa Cruz because our friend Andrew's probably.
I'm trying to think. Like I'm just like doing like some math, like
I mean, you got
team
Mason Silva,
math
Shaw,
on my head.
It's gonna be hard to beat Real in anything like
Jimmy Wilkins.
that. Yeah. Oh, because Jimmy and Shay Donovan were filming over unders on the vertical thing.
With that camera?
Oh yeah.
Oh really? That was
The
that was
videos
that.
are out now.
Okay.
They're available to you,
Fuck it.
to all of you.
Let's go.
You tell us. SkateSD, the documentary that I was in, is now available for free on YouTube, and it just popped up the other day. So of course I made my kids watch it again because I'm in it. It's a great documentary. It talks about San Diego's contribution to the history of skateboarding, and there are many. You should watch it. It was made by 900 Films.
In related news to that, there was a documentary that was being made a while ago because they did an interview for it called Streets and Sidewalks that was based on the New England skate scene, and I'm wondering if anyone out there has any idea what's going on with that because
They
it's
probably saw SkateSD and they're like, we can't compete
no
with this.
fuck that, dude.
There's so much skateboarding in
Frickin'
San Diego.
Soft skateboarding.
Well, it kind of invented skateboarding.
You want hard skateboarding? Come up on the East Coast.
New York City.
We didn't have wheels.
Our
had to-
skateboards were so hard to ride that we just had one truck.
We had to try to find round rocks
That's tight.
for wheels.
Y'all are hardcore.
What else?
Leaning in. This is not the place. We don't shit on X Games every time. This could just be interesting.
I love X Games.
I love X Games too. Leaning into a very California influencer Airbnb aesthetic, the Summer X Games course preview just dropped, and there is a hot tub on the course. There's a lounge hangout zone, and I looked at it and it didn't offend me. It actually looked kind of cool.
No, the course is kind of neat. There's
It's
like
kinda
there's
fun when they're
there's like a
wild.
water hazard, a living room hazard.
Hazardous living room.
There's just
thing.
it's just all kinds of just kind of cool. It's they're trying.
Hey, I for one love a novelty skate park.
Who
You know what I'm saying?
who are your
I
top?
love a
Who's your
novelty
top
skate
3 people to be in the hot tub while you're skating your run?
park. Who do I want in there?
Yeah, who's in your hot tub?
I'm gonna go anytime.
Literally,
In
and if you
history?
guys haven't seen this, there is like a bank
You
to
can
bank
air
over the hot tub.
Okay, I'm gonna go prime time Pamela Anderson in the Baywatch bikini.
Okay.
Abraham Lincoln, shout out. Abe.
What?
Yeah, you said I could pick whoever.
Okay.
And David Bowie. I've never seen him with his shirt off. I'd love to see him in a hot tub.
That's great.
Alive. All 3 of them alive. How about you?
I don't have any comment.
He wants Tommy Lee in there warming up the hot tub like he the thing he drove the boat with. His dong.
What else do we
Right.
have in skate news? When is that? Isn't X Games? X Games is like next week.
Yeah. I'll be watching. I like I said, I'm a fan
You're
of
not
X
paying
Games.
$30 to stand in the sun.
I'm just busy.
Can you actually rent out that? Could you Could you stay?
For $50 you can sit
You
in
can
the
you
hot
can
tub.
stay in the course.
Yeah. I would sit in the swing though. That would be tight.
Sex
Like I said, we love X Games.
sex swing.
I want to be a part of it.
You ever use a
I wanna
sex?
be the
You ever use a
lower-
sex swing?
Have I ever used a sex swing? By myself. It's a personal one. Snow News is brought to you by Bachans. Try Bachans on the gram. Todd, did you see the video of the slush slide?
Slush. Are we talking about like when you get a bunch of your homies together in the spring and you all create a slush avalanche?
This was it looked like a kind of a glacier, it was like sparse snow, and there was about 20 snowboarders and
Yes.
skiers
It's
going
fun.
down, and all of a sudden it was a slush
Yeah,
slide.
you get all your homies basically to side slip.
So
and
they did it on purpose.
yes, you can do that.
What's the difference between a slush slide and an avalanche?
Well, avalanche will kill you. A slush slide is just like fun to get stuck in. But they do. They're-
Pajetski says Wee Man should be in the hot tub.
Why? What are the specifics?
Because you said anyone can. You can tell us who's going to be in your hot tub during your X Games run, and he picked Wee Man.
Okay.
Because Pajetski knows.
That's just like the slush slide.
slide.
You just get all your friends going down. Like Mammoth is a great place to do it. Right where you get off the gondola at the top.
Is it dangerous?
Well, it's dangerous for people down below you that are not aware a slush slide is
That's
coming.
selfish.
It'll knock you off your feet, but it's really fun. Like you just get in there and all your friends having fun and woo.
I think slush slide. That was a great thing for you to talk about. What you've been talking about this whole.
Do we
podcast.
want to let's talk about for a second? Let's talk about for a second the
Okay.
Shaun White documentary because it just did drop.
Oh,
and
it's out.
it dropped. I think it's 5 or 6 episodes.
Do you think you're more a part of that documentary than I was a part of the SkateSD documentary? Because I had a lot, and my face was in it too, face and voice.
I think
Was your
Todd
face and voice?
Todd Harris and I had like a split second of us standing there.
Oh,
But we
not
do
a lot of FaceTime.
look, dude. We're like we have
time.
we have a bit of narration because I feel like Harris and I were there on a lot of his pinnacle runs. But I think it's really good. Like the documentary was done really well. It's got some really great archival footage.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's I mean just knowing because we like Harris and I were there on his last competitive run,
Right.
you know, and it does have like a lot of people probably that listen to this or watch our podcast they grew up with Shaun White. They grew up with him being a piece of action sports. I don't think action sports specifically is on a whole is better off without someone like Shaun White in it because
Well,
it's a
yeah.
character. You know, it's the same
He's
same
amazing. He's
same
a
with
goat.
people talking shit on X Games. It's like action sports industry probably wouldn't be better without it because it's just part of the whole. Doesn't
Part of the hole. The rim, or the inside of the hole.
it's part of the whole.
Look, I'm
This
a
is part of
Shaun
the
White
whole.
fan. I'm an X Games fan. Did I mention I was in the SkateSD doc? Like a bunch of
You
face and
cannot
mouth.
you can't argue that Shaun isn't the greatest competitive snowboarder of all time. You just you can't
S-H-A-U-N.
argue that.
I would never.
I think that he
argue
is.
with
I
that.
think he surpassed Craig Kelly, he surpassed he surpassed Terrier, and he's so far beyond that. And this is the story of someone's journey to get to that point.
Look,
And it's just
Cruz says can't not respect.
right.
him."
You can't not
can't
you can't not respect him. I mean, you can disagree with his style or whatever it is, but like you can't not respect the drive that someone like that has.
Yeah, agreed.
Dude, guys, like if you can go 25 feet out on a backside air, fuck that. Like you have the utmost respect.
You have carte blanche.
Yeah.
To wear as tight a pants as you want, to have as wide a stance as you want, and guess what? I love sports documentaries.
And you get to see Shaun White when he was wearing a good fit.
ooh,
Because
good fit,
for a
Shaun.
while, good fit Shaun White was sick, dude. Like he wore some bigger pants, and the stance didn't look quite so wide.
What were you saying before when we started about if you just bump up your snowboard gear one
Yes,
size,
dude, this-
you're gonna look better?
See, this is how we do it. This is like that movie Inception, where we bring it all back to the beginning.
Remember?
Yeah, like the bigger your pants are, it can hide shit. And if you start wearing tight pants, it exposes every weirdness of your style.
Every crevice.
So if you guys are watching snowboard footage of yourselves and you're like, damn, my shit looks broke, maybe just go up a size of pants.
maybe watch a Raibu video
Ooh.
and really pump up those pantaloons.
Just basically what it is you're just creating something to distract people from your, like maybe just have a lot of like trinkets hanging off your belt.
Flare.
Flare.
Bottom line is, I'm excited to watch the Shaun White documentary. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of sports
It's good.
documentaries.
It's a good documentary.
I love JJ Thomas.
Yep, JJ's in it a whole bunch. It's good.
Snowboarding's awesome.
Can be.
Shaun White has helped make it awesome.
All right, what else you got?
China is really putting a lot into snowboarding at the moment. They have just reached a significant milestone, and they have opened their 50th indoor snow center. 50th indoor snow center. That's a lot of snow centers. What is it? What is an indoor snow center in China like? Have you been to one?
They want them medals.
Is this a medal grab?
I think that there's
They got Patty Party. What more do they need?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, there's
She's the
that
best.
that half pipe just got opened up in Japan. I'm sure there's going to be a well manicured, perfect half pipe, or several of them in China.
How close are these indoor parks to the real thing?
Half pipe, you can make it a real thing. The snow is weird. It's this weird.
Is it wet?
No, it's like dry, and you think it's going to be icy, but it isn't. It's really
It's like
interesting.
dry slush.
Kind of. It's a weird texture. Like if you've ever, like in your freezer.
Yeah.
Like if you leave the door open in your freezer and it creates that like frost.
Okay.
It's kind of like a frost, but it's
not wet.
No.
A dry frost.
It's a dry frost.
Any of our friends in China, if you want to invite us to one of your indoor snowboarding parks, and business class is fine to fly us there. I mean, we'll do it for cheap. We'll come over there and ride, and we'll talk about it.
I'm not going to China.
You're not going?
No.
I'll go.
Here you go.
I got more news for you, Todd.
I do too, but before we move on,
yeah,
I feel like a lot of people kind of want to know what's up with the Bombhole.
Yes, I watched Granny's video.
Granny's dropped a video the other day that basically affirmed what a lot of us have known about for a while, is that Eastone is not part of the Bombhole anymore.
Okay, and for those people that don't listen to the Bombhole, why is this a big deal?
Well, it's huge because Stony Buds he's as much of the personality of the Bombhole as Grundy's is.
Right.
And it's, he was the face of it in the beginning. And I feel like it's a weird one because
it's a personal thing.
It's a personal thing, but also, I think that the Bombhole is much more of an actual real live business than this fucking.
Tell that to our staff over there.
this fucking wet cardboard box that we have right here.
We are using a mug and a towel to hold.
So the reason that I say that is once you have a certain amount of employees, you kind of have to have like an HR department, and some things need to are not. God, how do I get around this without? Because it's not my story to tell. Like, I know what happened, but it's not my story to tell. And Eastone dropped onto Instagram the other day and said there's two sides to every story, which is perfectly great. And I think
it's a business breakup.
It's a business breakup, but I know for a fact, because I talked to Chris at Peace Park about how gnarly this decision was for him.
Look, Double Eject says, why do they got to air it out for everyone to see?
Because it's a legal thing, and it's going to end up being public, because you can't just I don't know. It's like when they just God, what was the show where they just fucking replaced the lead guy and they didn't really
Great British Baking Show.
They just didn't say anything.
Oh, is that a different show?
Yeah, is that?
Well, it happens.
It
happens in entertainment. It happens in Hollywood. It happens on television shows.
You got to address it.
There was a personal thing going on that caused the two main people at the Bombhole to go separate ways. The Bombhole remains the world's greatest snowboarding podcast, hosted by Chris Grenier, who is hilarious, knowledgeable, well-respected, and I feel like whatever happened, which is their business, they're not coming out and saying it was a personal thing, right?
And Chris will be the first one to Grandy's will be the first one to say that it's not going to be the same without East Stone. And East Stone was like Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Like those two have been really tight for so long. I don't think this will jeopardize their relationship. But it's going to be different. So, I mean, if you guys, they're probably taking resumes right now if you'd like to audition for the...
They need a co-host?
Would you move to Salt Lake?
No. Would I have to talk about snowboarding all the time?
Yes. No, they talk about other shit on there. But anyways, I think
I would love to. I mean, Chris Grenier is probably
I look
one of the
forward.
greatest podcast. I think he's probably the second greatest podcast host. Besides me, he's top 2.
Yeah. At any
Well,
rate.
can you be like a guest host? Like, are they gonna have guest host spots?
Of what? Of the bomb?
Bombhole.
I think so. I think, there's I was going to go out and kind of guest host a couple of weeks ago, but my schedule didn't line up. Mikey LeBlanc has been filling in a little bit.
Oh, he's great.
I think maybe they need to rotate different personalities through. I don't know.
They know their shit.
I don't know
We
what
don't know how to
I
do a
don't know what the
podcast.
deal is with it and where they're going to go with it, but I do know that this is a really tough time for Grandies. I know that Eastone is going to
It's emotional for
He's-
everybody
yeah.
involved, and this is a beloved duo, trio, quattro. It's a beloved show, and he was a beloved part of it.
Yeah.
So I wish them.
and he's on the face of a lot of the merchandise. So you can kind of like, you can
How come you? We don't have merchandise. Oh, we do have merchandise with our faces on it, don't we? We're just not good at selling merch.
we have a lot of merch like right there.
We have merch. It's in a pile. It's over there. If you're within like 2 blocks from us, come and grab some stuff.
Mhm.
But we don't want to ship it.
Zach Hooper, yes.
Yes.
The speculation from the internet is awful. There's a lot of rumors going around. Not a lot of those rumors are true.
Yeah, just
It's
listening to them,
just
too.
wait to hear it from a reliable source. And
Yeah.
it's really
It's messy. It's messy drama, and the Bombhole will be great. It is great. It's gonna continue to be great, and think of there's so many good rock and roll bands, right? They break up, they get a new singer, they get a new guitar player. You're like, well, how am I gonna like this? Eventually, you get used to it.
it's like when
And
Three's
it's fine.
Company just like replaced Mr. Furley with Mr. Roper. Or was it vice versa?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. But then
Yeah,
I
you were
learned
mad.
but then I learned to love
Oh, Todd was hot on that one.
I learned to love the new superintendent.
Well, we love the Bombhole.
Or
and
Van
we hope the
Halen.
best.
Although
Dude,
Sammy
Sammy Hagar had some hits, bro. I'm kind of on both teams. I just want both teams to have fun. Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth.
Do you got Sammy Hagar? Van Hagar is not as good as Van Halen.
Well, it's not, but the song Dreams rips.
Yeah, but that was just because you couldn't have any more Van Halen.
Do you know
Like
they
the
did
real Van
Do you know
Halen.
they did a tour together, and it made them hate each other even more? They did a
Really?
Yeah, Sammy.
Oh, with
Hagar
David Lee Roth?
and David Lee Roth together on the tour, going like song for song or something. I think Van Hagar might have had more hits or bigger hits, fewer but big. I don't know. Brighton Resort is going through some changes. You're gonna love this, people, because one of these changes is, it's tough going snowboarding. You got to get up there. You got your passes. Now you have to make paid parking reservations.
Fuck
Todd,
that.
I knew that was going to get him heated. Go, Todd.
How do we how as the
Who are these people?
the ski industry that wants to have this like sustained growth and everyone's talking about accessibility and elitism, but you want to go ahead and start having
Brighton says, "Fuck poor people." Don't
yeah
snowboard
what's up no I just weird like the powers that be. I mean, Brighton's got a lot of great people in marketing and there's a lot of smart youthful people that are really cool to deal with,
Are they not making enough money?
but the powers that be decide that they're going to charge. Like Breckenridge did it, fucked up it's just the vibe. It's a vibe killer. Stop killing the vibe that makes these resorts so special just
Bitch.
for the bottom line.
Bitch, don't
Charge
kill my
more
vibe.
for the fucking hamburger. You know?
Well, I like hamburgers.
Charge more for the chili bread bowl
Dude, it's hard enough to find a parking spot.
in general.
So I get it. Like, if you're gonna, if you're buying a boarding pass, if you're buying a lift ticket, or you have one of the big passes, I get it. And if you want to go up there and be able to park and ride, And maybe it's only like $10. I don't know. I doubt it.
But making a reservation kind of like kills that whole. And I know the canyons are fucked. Okay, I know Big Cottonwood and Little Cottonwood canyons are absolutely fucked. And there's a lot of people driving up there that shouldn't, because people think that just because they rented a Suburban from the Salt Lake Airport with summer tires on it, that they can just go through anything and get anywhere.
I don't know about any of that.
They fucking can't. And there should be almost like a chain check at the bottom, like a real chain check like they do in Tahoe, that basically turns people around if you don't have appropriate snow gear on your car. Like if your car is not made to go up a hill, it's like, then fucking turn around and you can take the bus up there.
I'll rip that shit in a Honda Odyssey.
If your Honda Odyssey has snow tires on it, sweet.
So Todd says that sucks.
Everyone says it sucks. I don't know one person that thinks charging for parking at Brighton is a good idea, except for the people who sit upstairs and are trying to make shareholders happy.
They're like, we just got an extra $1,000 a day.
Sweet.
Per person. The Carnegie Hero Fund Commission announced this week that professional slackliner Mickey Wilson of Golden, Colorado will receive the prestigious Carnegie Medal.
What does this have to do with snowboarding?
Because you might have remembered this story, which is actually really gnarly. A guy was wearing a backpack with a chest thing, but his strap around his waist was open. So something happened where he slipped out of the lift and the backpack got caught. Or no, I think he came around, the backpack got caught when he tried to get off, and he fell out, but the backpack caught him. The way the backpack caught him was around his neck. So he was literally hanging by his neck from the lift, and people didn't know what to do. They stopped the lift. Here's where the professional slackliner, Mickey Wilson, slacklined down the freaking...
Shut the fuck up.
Dude,
he did not. He slacklined down.
It's on video. He slacklined down to the chair, climbed down, tried to kick the backpack free. The guy's dying. It's like he's in a noose. The ski patrol threw him a knife. He cut it. The guy fell. He hurt his ankle, but he lived. And so now Mickey Wilson is a hero.
I need to see this video.
This is fresh snow news.
Dude slacklined down the cable. Yeah.
So
remember the guy in
He had a broken hand too.
Remember the guy in Vail that fell off the chairlift and it pulled his pants down?
That's kind of funny. But this dude was straight up dying. This happened last year at Arapahoe Basin or early in the season. But the guy's now getting this prestigious award, and it's well deserved. That's badass. Like that's if the like when you're on a plane, is there a doctor on the plane? They're on this mountain. Is anyone a slackliner on this mountain? He's like,
yeah, because there's a dude's doing devil sticks up at the top. He's like, I'm a slackliner, and next thing you know, well,
you got questions over here.
All right, sorry. We have questions.
It's time for questions. I don't have any nerd news, do you?
I saw Indiana Jones. It's not as good as I wanted it to be.
Lando Norris got second place, finally. That's some nerd news for you.
I want to answer some questions. That's not a question. Who is the guy that was hanging upside down in front of a stacked lift line in Vail? That's what I was just talking about. That was actually Chris Cote.
Naked.
That guy got a lot of money from Vail.
$275,000.
Sammy Hagar is coming to Tahoe on the 14th with John. Who?
Bro, let's go.
John Bonham. John Bonham's son is the drummer. Actually, John Bonham's son is incredible.
He's a great drummer.
What else do we have here? They should charge for wearing a backpack speaker at Brighton. Yes. Or just a backpack. No, but they should charge for wearing backpack speakers. That would for sure bring a lot of income.
Like $1 per song.
Yeah, did this guy did he slackline in snowboard boots, or did he take his boots off? Because they like to do it barefoot.
I think he was in boots.
Fucking slackline in boots.
Dude,
I don't
a
even believe this story.
It's on the internet.
He's slacklined down the fucking cable.
Yeah.
I don't even believe this.
Well, he saved this guy's life. I haven't seen you saving anybody's life with your slacklining lately.
You guys ever heard of fart tennis?
Blake Wall, Big Bad Blake official, says, this year I noticed I was putting on weight. The beers are catching up. I started running and I ran out of beer and I ran to get some more. But for real, thanks for the tip on the NA beers. The weight has been dropping off. I love the option. And what's my favorite NA beer? It's called Rationale. I do work with them for them, but the only reason I do is because I love it.
Do they
Scratches the itch, bro.
Do you think that they have? Why don't they come up with non drugs? Like to get someone like off of like if they're addicted to cocaine, you fucking sniff Smarties.
Well, they have I saw this product called Dad Grass, and it was just like crunched up CBD or something, and they're like cigs that you smoke. I don't know.
Like if you enjoy just like sniffing cocaine, but you don't want the effects of cocaine.
Smarties.
Just like drywall
flour.
dust. Flour. Yeah, flour, of course.
All-purpose flour. We got a update. Robert Pirazzini.
What does he say?
Professor Pirazzini, Professor P. So he went to Europe with his kids, and he was asking us, are they allowed to carry their skateboards on? We said a lot of times in Europe especially, they say no.
Yep.
And here's what happened on the way back. His son Luca took his wheels and trucks to Europe, purchased a deck at a skate shop called Buzz in Hossiger. So when he came home, he took off the wheels and trucks and attached the deck to his carry-on. Boom. Done deal. And I think it's always cool to go on a trip and like
give your shit to people.
Well, or support a local shop where you're going. Like, let's say I'm going to Hossiger. Go to the surf shop, buy something from there.
Rip Zinger suggests using all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour. Thank you, Rip.
Yeah, thanks, Rip.
This guy is gray. Says, American Airlines is always cool with it. Thank you. So if you're going to fly American Airlines, you can bring your board carry-on like Tony Hawk does. Question from Matt P. Matt P says, if you guys had to give up one of your sponsors, like could not use or consume the product, which would it be?
Oh, well, for me, it would probably be the non-alcoholic beer because I prefer my beer to have the alcohol included.
Todd loves alcohol.
That's
a tough one.
I'd take the math. I'd take the Monday out of M.A.S.S.
Yeah. Bachans are
Thanks.
panicking.
Thanks, Mike Nelson.
Dude, I'm
really?
not.
Why are you just there?
No, that's what they said.
Oh.
I'd rather die than not use our sponsors.
Right.
I would rather die. So I'm not going to answer.
Would you rather have your leg caught in a bear trap?
Okay.
Or have to stick your penis in a wasp's nest?
Leg in a bear trap. Yo, my penis is sensitive to wasp stings, bro.
Have you ever seen that trick with wasps? If you fill a glass up with gasoline and you cup the wasp's nest, all the wasps will die.
It's forest fire season. Don't be telling people to fill anything with gasoline.
Responsibly.
Hannah Lee says, for Todd, did you ever watch Dune and Children of Dune miniseries? And if yes, what did you think? For Chris, is there a movie from your past that is just way better experience at the theaters?
Okay. I didn't watch. I saw. Thanks for the question, Holly. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't like it. I didn't like the BBC Dune series very much. I do, however, I am able to separate in my brain the old Dune movie that was. I think it's incredible. It's weird. It's trippy. It's David Lynch. It's freaking cool. From the new one, and I will say that I'm really excited about the new Dune trailer that dropped the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It looks freaking awesome.
Sandworms.
I just like the lore of Dune. I dig it.
Yeah. My question about a movie that was just better experience in the theaters. I mean, I think those giant blockbusters with tons of action are always best experience. You know, Indiana Jones, like you had mentioned. You know, for me, if a movie gets over 2 hours, I don't want to watch it in the theater. I would say if you didn't see the original Avatar in the theater, it's probably nowhere near as good because that was to me the best like 3D I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I would never want to watch Avatar.
The
in
new
normal
the new
3D.
Indiana Jones. I saw it last night. It took me forever to go and see it. I saw it. I made the mistake of watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and Temple of Doom the 2 nights
Those are great.
previous. They're so good.
Yeah.
And the thing that I find endearing about those movies is like the special effects are it's like cheesy, right? Like they were doing the
Yeah.
best that they possibly could
We're doing
do
the best we can.
in 1985
Well, and
or
the
19,
writing and the
or
story.
1980. Okay, and like that's like the crappy little models and things look cheap, and like like when the dude's face melts at the end of the first Indiana
The
Jones,
Nazis.
right? Like it's just like wax.
It's a good time.
But like the new one, it's entertaining. It's a great, like, I'm going to the East Coast on an airplane movie,
right.
but it's like it's just too perfect. Like
Yeah.
I thought the interesting stuff to me was the de-aging of Harrison Ford in the beginning of the movie. Spoiler alert: he's
young?
They de-age him in the beginning.
That happened in part 3 too. With
But it's-
River Phoenix.
It's a cool premise. No, River Phoenix was young Indiana Jones.
de-aged.
Anyways, whatever.
Sorry,
It's
what were we talking about?
I kind of like, I'm just old and I prefer the kind of like the cheesiness of like kind of shitty Close Encounters, shitty fucking ET, like shitty Gremlins. Like I like it kind of not like Sharknado shitty, but
Right.
like we're spending millions upon millions of dollars to try to do the best we can in 1980 shitty.
You know what I like in the theaters is surf movies. A good quality surf video premiere is the best. Always.
Right.
What's that say?
It said, gotta watch Movie Magic on Disney. The Star Wars guys made that. Hold on a second. Becky Bubb says,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
I
that
watched
face
that.
melting scene. Yeah, it's
What up,
great.
Becky?
Like practical
Bubs?
effects. Practical effects are fucking awesome. and
Practical
that's
magic.
yeah. Starship Troopers was fucking good, dude.
That was good.
Max Warmington, thank you for that.
And
Starship
that
Troopers was really, really good.
That was
and
great special effects.
that was like kind of like right around the same time as like The Fifth Element came out, and it was kind of
Fifth
like
Element was good.
it was kind of like that transition between the practical and CGI. So that's like, I kind of thought that was cool. I don't know. It just kind of like, it's like at this point it's gone way too far, and just because you can do it with a bank of fucking computers,
Mm-hmm.
like doesn't mean you should.
Got a question from Brett Typhao. Question of the week. Cry is free. Origin story. Where did that come from? And also, are you guys watching Warrior on Cinemax? If you're not, you need to, Todd. Sorry, no dragons. Maybe dragon tattoos. LOL. See The Witcher.
Dragging these balls across
Cry is free originates from
Brazil. It's a Brazilian saying.
It's a online message board response to a whinge. Cry is free can be used by any nationality.
Yes.
It's just funny. It means like, like this happened. Well, cry is free. You can cry about it all you want. It's not going to do anything. And no, I'm not watching Warrior. I don't think I have Cinemax.
That new did you watch The Foundation on Apple when that came out? I think we talked about this a long time ago.
No.
Okay, so on Apple TV, The Foundation is coming back.
No.
It was a great sci-fi show 2 years ago. It's back.
Never heard of
like
it.
next week. I'm very excited for that.
I'm happy for you.
What sorry.
DJ says.
We're gonna watch like Lego cake building.
What? Is that coming back? No, we watched Survivor in our house.
Do you ever learn anything from that? It's fake, you know.
Oh my God. I learned a lot about the behind the scenes of Survivor from my friend Felicity Palmetier. She told me some radical Survivor stories. I'm gonna apply to Survivor.
Ooh, that would be fucking
What do you
sick.
think? You think I could do it?
What if we did a Survivor, like an action sports Survivor?
Like, you have to like make a
Yeah.
board out of
No,
wood
it'd be
or
like
something.
we're sent somewhere. Like
You should woodshed this on your own time.
really? I think people want to talk about this. What would be your ultimate
You should
Survivor
work on this. You should work
scenario?
this later. What do you mean?
Like
Surf
where?
Survivor.
Yeah, no phone.
No trunks.
Chris doesn't have any clothes on because he confused it with Naked and Afraid with Survivor.
Naked and surviving. Naked and surfing. DC Jones.
It could
wants
just
to
be like
know-
listening to the ad block looping.
It could be listening to this podcast
Right.
all the way through naked. DC Jones says, any thoughts on the Bombhole split? Yeah, we're bummed. It's a bummer all around. It's a bummer, but we hope for the best, right? I'm not trying to speak for both of us.
Anytime that lawyers get involved, shit's gonna
I'm going to sue you, Todd.
sue you back.
This is a good question for Todd.
What
He
is it?
cares about this stuff a lot. This is from Willie. Willie wants to know, is Darth Vader a hero, a villain, or anti-hero?
Is Darth Vader a hero?
I think he's a hero to some people.
He's an anti-hero,
To some people.
I think, right?
Pretty good question.
All right. Well, yeah.
We've been off center this whole time.
We like to have a lot in case we bring a guest.
You've been migrating over to my side.
In
for
case
like
we
the
bring
last
we
month.
need to leave room for the guest. Someday we'll have a guest on here.
Oh, remember that guy's gonna come make sushi.
Oh yeah, no. Rip, are you gonna come make sushi for us? We don't really have. It's be frowned upon by the health department, but we would love it if you came and made sushi. All right, guys, that'll
That's
do
been
it
a
for
long
us.
show.
Yeah, we clocked in at 78 minutes. So
I'm going surfing.
holy
I'm gonna
crap!
try my ass off.
All right, you guys, we'll see you later. Peace out.